This is probably the best piece of news I've read in a while for SEOs. And not all SEOs, for people who are working in publishing and news specifically, right? It just is some good news. So this study found that while AI overviews does decrease clicks from organic by 42%, right? In that sample. So they have a portfolio of websites and they analyzed the data and they found that it decreased the organic traffic by 42%. Breaking news is different. Breaking news is up 103% across all Google surfaces, right? So it's the evergreen content, the one that does not get in top stories carousel. That's the one that's getting impacted. So if you're wondering what's top stories carousel, um, okay, if you search for something like Iran war news, this is the top stories carousel. You usually scroll by it if you're not working in news or publishing, right? We care usually about those template links and what follows. So this has not been impacted by AI overviews, luckily, right? Let's not jinx it. Or let's not give them ideas. Okay, and if we go back to the article, they're also talking about Google Discover and how it has been sending a significant amount of traffic. So, Discover has been the real driving engine behind breaking news growth across all surfaces. And then, for the first time in their history, Discover and Web Search send an equal amount of traffic to the Defined Media Group panel to their portfolio websites, right? So, if you have traffic coming from Discover, it's definitely worth monitoring. It's definitely worth looking into how you can grow it. I don't get a lot on my website personally from Discover, so maybe I should look into, right? And then if you scroll down here, they're showing how their websites performed against AI overview. So this is when it first launched, and then the start of a decline, as you can see. So there was some fluctuation here, but the start of a decline. And for the record, ChatGPT was launched here before Q1. It was Q4 2022, right? So it didn't cause an impact right away. Um, but it may have contributed to this, by the way. So it's a new technology, so there's a learning curve. And, people take time to adopt new technologies. So AI overviews, and did ChatGPT take some of the traffic? There's nothing here that says so, but something to keep in mind, right? Um, and then uh, industry specific impact, health and science and health. I'm really surprised by health because AI overviews has not been really great at that. But we've all seen a lot of AI overviews that have faulty information, right? So I'm not sure why they're so eager to push it in health, 43% of the time. Um, but again, this is a sample, right? Like this is about their websites. This is their custom data. Your data can be different, right? And industry level. So if we're talking about health or science and so on, the same categories, but on a industry level, with a larger sample, the data may be different, right? And then news is very, again, once again, it's 15% of the time. Shopping is 3.2. This is good news, right? If we scroll down, anyone working in news, they would know this. The most valuable pages you have on your website are the actual stories, the news stories pages. And then, okay, if you're working in publishing, obviously Google News is very important. Slight decline. But you know what? Something to keep in mind, you can try to compensate for that by using the follow us on Google News feature and set us as preferred sources, which helps for the top stories carousel. So these things can even mitigate any potential impact if your website is experiencing any negative impacts, right? Yes, implications. Obviously, we need to focus a bit more on Discover specific optimization. If you're working on publishing, this is a gold mine. Discover's rise and web search fall should incentivize publishers to prioritize a Discover specific content development strategy. I agree. Um, Evergreen versus breaking news content. I think the thing is we need to have a different mindset when we're trying to optimize for evergreen content. Now you need to make sure you're cited in AI overviews. It's not just about ranking because it's not enough anymore. So I want to share this study by SEMrush from last year. So, I mean, it's not ancient, but it's not fresh 2026. And it mentioned something interesting, right? Um, you scroll down here, it says, we looked at 10 million plus keywords from January 2025 through November 2025 to find the percentage of all queries that trigger an AI overviews. And the data shows terms that trigger AI overviews grew rapidly at the start of 2025 before setting in around 16% of all queries, right? So here's what happened. It increased, kept increasing, and then reached its peak, and then it went down, right? AI overviews were triggered for 15.6% of all queries or we can say 16% of queries in November 2025. So let's go back to the study. So for them, it was a very higher number, maybe based off the industries and the amount of content per industry. It's definitely worth looking at your custom AI overview visibility for your queries, percentages. So, in summary, the main takeaway here is you need to consider optimizing for Google Discover. You need to look there. It's also in the process of being rolled out to desktop. Google actually announced last year that Discover is going to be rolled on desktop, right? So, what does that mean for us? This also is going to increase the traffic share that Discover sends, right? So, definitely we should focus more effort on Google Discover and then evergreen content. We just need to approach it in a different way. I'm considering building a tool for this, so stay tuned. And if you have not yet checked my new People Also Ask tool, please check it out. It's pretty cool. All you need to do is go on SERP API and create an account, go to your dashboard, get the API key, and then you plug in your API key here. You can say something like learn SEO, select the depth because obviously the depth is going to impact the credits you spend, and then country, and then find PAA, and then it's gonna start pulling the people also ask questions for you. Let's pause here and look what we have. Okay, so we have this. Like I just stopped it halfway through, but I tried to add as much features and information here. If you have any ideas or things you think I should explore, let me know. You can also export it, and you also have the copy button. Thanks for watching so far, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much. Bye.